Hi guys and welcome back to my channel, Happy Hour. My name is Alexandra Tejeda and I'm a women's empowerment coach, and on this channel we talk about self-love, self-worth, and self-development. So today I want to address what's going on in the world, on social media, kind of everywhere. I think it's important to get on your platforms, no matter how big or small, and talk about these issues at hand. But the truth is, in my situation, the best I can do is learn, give back, listen, support Black-owned business, support Black influencers. It's sad that it kind of has to come to this point sometimes for us to realize things. And this didn't just start. This has been an ongoing thing. So I think one of the best things to do is read books, learn about Black history, and not be ignorant to any fact. And also give back. But I do want to help you learn and show you some books that I would recommend so you can get to learn a little bit more about Black history and Black Lives Matter, the movement. So it's actually kind of weird timing, but a month ago I ordered like a bunch of Black history books on Amazon and just stuff written by Black authors and autobiographies, because I think Black history is actually very interesting. I think it is amazing. And I also want to go into like my own history. I'm Mexican, so learn more about my own ancestors and even indigenous people. I just think cultures are very interesting and we all bring different things to the table. But yeah, I did go about a month ago on Amazon and order some books there. It's taken a long time to get here because of COVID and everything, but I have some here and then some are still waiting to come. I'm super excited because honestly, Black history, it's insane the amount of things that they've gone through and the strength that they show and the things that they're still going through. And I may not be walking in their shoes, obviously, but I don't want to be ignorant to any fact. And I also know my privilege as a predominantly white person, so I can use that privilege to help those people. Let's jump into the books. So the first one that I ordered is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I am so excited to read this. Maya Angelou is one of my favorite poets, writers. I get goosebumps. Her poems are like the first ones I came across, and she's just insane. The way that she talks and gives vision to her words, and she's just insane. Like I love her so much, and I've watched a lot of her interviews and her written poems when she's like speaking. It's just insane. So she's really powerful, really moving. And this is called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I'm so excited to read this. This is basically a book about Maya Angelou's life. And it says, here is a book as joyous and painful, as mysterious and memorable as childhood itself. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings captures the longing of lonely children, the brute insult of bigotry, and the wonder of words that can make the world right. Maya Angelou's debut memoir is a modern American classic beloved worldwide. Sent by their mother to live with their devout grandmother in a small southern town, Maya and her brother endure the ache of abandonment and prejudice. At 8 years old, and back at her mother's side in St. Louis, Maya is attacked by a man many times her age and has to live with the consequences for a lifetime. Years later in San Francisco, Maya learns that love for herself, the kindness of others, her own strong spirit, and the ideas of great authors will allow her to be free instead of in prison. Poetic and powerful, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings will touch hearts and change minds for as long as people read. I just got goosebumps reading the back, guys. I'm so excited to read this. Honestly, I haven't even read it yet, but I'm recommending it, okay, because I just know the way Maya Angelou speaks, and I just know it's going to be a very powerful book. And I did know that she went through a lot of things growing up as well, and that's kind of what led her to be so powerful through her words. So yeah, highly recommend, even though I haven't read it, but I know it'll be good. The next one is my favorite. I haven't read all these books. This is the one that I have. Becoming by Michelle Obama. Becoming by Michelle Obama. You have to read this. I'm pretty sure everybody has read it. It's like one of the best-selling books ever. I did a full in-depth review of it as well, so I'll link it up above if you want to watch that video, because I feel like I did a pretty good job, okay? It talks about her and her upbringing, growing up as a child in the south side of Chicago, meeting Barack Obama, the president of the United States, former president, and she was the first Black first lady. And then it talks about life after the White House and stuff. So yeah, it's just so good. I'll read the back, but it's so good. There's a lot I still don't know about America, about life, about what the future might bring, but I do know myself. My father, Fraser, taught me to work hard, laugh often, and keep my word. My mother, Marion, showed me how to think for myself and to use my voice. Together in our cramped apartment on the south side of Chicago, they helped me see the value in our story, in my story, in the larger story of our country. Even when it's not pretty or perfect, even when it's more real than you want it to be, your story is what you have, what you'll always have. It is something to own. I get goosebumps, guys. I get goosebumps. You have to read this book. Highly recommend, all right? Highly, highly, highly. You can also watch on Netflix now, actually. They have Becoming. It wasn't as good as the book, obviously. It never is, but you can watch it there too if you want like a little snippet. Yeah. I watched it as soon as it came out. So highly recommend. Also, some of these books were recommended to me, so I don't really know what they're about too much, but yeah, some of them were recommended. Anything that people recommend to me, I usually get. Okay, so if you have any recommendations, let me know in the comment box down below because I will get it. All right, the next one is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Goggins? Okay, I don't really know what this is about. I know it's about his weight loss journey and where he's come from and how he got over a lot of things in his life and became a really strong person after all the crazy things he went through, but I don't know a lot about him or his story. So it says on the back, for David Goggins, childhood was a nightmare. Poverty, prejudice, and physical abuse colored his days and haunted his nights, but through self-discipline, mental toughness, and hard work, Goggins transformed himself from a depressed, overweight young man with no future in a U.S. Armed Forces icon and one of the world's top endurance athletes. I cannot read right now, I don't know why. The only man in history to complete elite training as a Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller. He went on to set records in numerous endurance events, inspiring Outside magazine to name him the fittest real man in America. Can't Hurt Me, he shares his astonishing life story and reveals the most of us only tap into 40% of our capabilities. Goggins calls this the 40% rule, and his story illuminates a path that anyone can follow to push past pain, demolish fear, and reach their full potential. Okay, so it's kind of like, a little bit of like a self-help book, but still through his own story. So this one should be really interesting, and this was recommended to me. Sounds interesting. All right, the next two, that's a lot. There's three that I'm actually three autobiographies that I'm really excited to read. So this one here is a big, big book, okay? Huge. But it is Long Walk to Freedom. I actually got this for my birthday because I asked for it because I've been dying to read this. Michelle Obama in her book talks about meeting Nelson Mandela and how inspiring he was to her. So I really wanted to get the autobiography and know a little bit about him because I don't know too much at all. So yeah, okay, let's see. As recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize, president of the African National Congress, and head of the anti-apartheid movement, Nelson Mandela has been one of the world's great moral and political leaders. The story of his life, from the early development of his political consciousness to his eventful quarter century behind bars, I know that much, to his momentous victory in South Africa's first ever multi-racial elections, is an epic account of struggle, setback, renewed hope, and ultimate triumph. I get goosebumps every single book I read. This is gonna be so good. Like, I did know that he spent like a long time behind bars and that, he was still very hopeful through the whole thing and fighting for his country. So I'm super excited to read this. I know it's gonna take me a little bit of time, but it seems like I need to read a little bit more too because I can't even get my words out right now. But yeah, super, super cool. I'm so excited for these autobiographies that I got. All right, the next one is the autobiography of Martin Luther King Jr. I cannot wait to read this, okay? Cannot wait. I love that all these have pictures because it just like really, I'm like a picture person, I feel. But yeah, I am so excited to read this. This is a long time coming, something I've wanted to read for a long time. And I feel like a real staple in Black history, so it's really important to read about. There's not much of a description in the back here, but I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. It says a Grammy-winning audiobook. Yeah, so I'm so excited to read this autobiography. The next couple ones I don't have in like physical form, so let me just pull it up here. I'm just pulling it up on my phone because they're still coming from Amazon. So the autobiography of Malcolm X, so excited to read about that one as well. I don't know a lot about him, honestly, so I really want to dig deeper into these like staples of Black history and really understand their stories and where they came from. I just learned something here in the biography that he was an American Muslim. I didn't even know that. And that's why it's important to read, okay? So just a little biography here. It says Malcolm X was a minister, human rights activist, and prominent Black nationalist leader who served as a spokesman for the Nation of Islam during the 1950s and 1960s. Due largely to his efforts, the Nation of Islam grew from a mere 400 members at the time. He was released from prison in 1952 to 40,000 members by 1960. A naturally gifted orator, Malcolm X exhorted Blacks to cast off the shackles of racism by any means necessary, including violence. The fiery civil rights leader broke with the Nation of Islam shortly before his assassination in 1965 at the Audubon Ballroom in Manhattan, where he had been preparing to deliver a speech. Okay, so see, I didn't know any of that. So that's just a little biography there of Malcolm X. I'm super excited to read that because people are always talking about the differences from Malcolm X to Martin Luther King Jr. And so I kind of want to learn a little bit more about them and how they contrasted and compared to each other. And this last book was recommended to me a couple days ago, and it's called Discrimination and Disparities by Thomas Sowell. Apparently it's a more conservative view on the things happening right now, but I looked up the biography of Thomas Sowell and it's really interesting. It says here that Sowell was born in North Carolina but grew up in Harlem, New York. He dropped out of his high school and served in the U.S. Marine Corps during the Korean War. He received a bachelor's degree graduating from Harvard in 1958 and a master's degree from Columbia in 1959. In 1968, he earned his doctorate in economics from the University of Chicago. Those are like crazy universities. I'm sure he's really, really, really smart. But it said something here that he, now I can't find it, that he was like the first Black person to graduate from Harvard or something. I hope I didn't make up that fact. I'm so sure I saw that, but now I can't find it. But anyway, his book, Discrimination and Disparities, that was recommended to me, and my friend told me that it has a more conservative view, but I'm open to all views. I just want to learn more. It says here, Discrimination and Disparities. He's written many books, by the way, like plenty of books, but this is just one that is one of his most well-known. So Discrimination and Disparities gathers a wide array of empirical evidence to challenge the idea that different economic outcomes can be explained by any one factor, be it discrimination, exploitation, or genetics. It's readable enough for people with no prior knowledge of economics. And the point of Discrimination and Disparities is not to recommend some particular policy fix at the end, but to clarify why so many policy fixes have turned out to be counterproductive and to expose some seemingly invincible fallacies behind many counterproductive policies. Whew. Okay, I feel like that's gonna be like a learning read, okay? But still, I'm so excited to dig into all these books and learn more about Black history and more about the Black Lives Movement. So I encourage you to learn more about Black history and use your platform. Let's talk about these things. Let's stop turning away from these things and let's acknowledge what's going on right now and what has been going on for a very long time. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and for being a part of my channel. I will leave a link below where you can donate for the George Floyd Memorial and other Black-owned businesses where you can send money to. So yeah, if you would like to donate, you can. There's the links down below. And thank you guys so much for watching, for being a part of my channel, and I will see you soon on Thursday on my next video. Thank you guys.